Tech-focused lender Silicon Valley Bank getting shut down today by regulators after a run on deposits. Yahoo Finance senior columnist Rick Newman here with more on this. Rick, what does it mean for the economy and for President Biden?
Anybody who knows the details of the 2008 financial crash, I think has heart palpitations when they hear about a bank failure, especially a fairly large one, and this would be the biggest one since the financial crash. If this is a one-off, then we probably are okay, but there also is the chance that this signals there is some meaningful stress in the banking industry that could affect other banks, and probably not the big ones, probably not the so-called too big to fail banks, JP Morgan, Chase, Citibank, and so on, but possibly the regional banks could have similar problems. And this all stems from what's going on with interest rates and the rapid rise in interest rates. So, you know, what seems to be happening here is this bank lost some deposits, and so it had to liquidate some assets in order to cover those withdrawals. And because those were Treasury securities it bought when interest rates were very low, it had to sell them at a loss, and those losses basically became unsustainable, and it created what is basically a bank run. This is alarming. I mean, again, it's possible this is a one-off, and this is not going to create some kind of contagion. But boy, banking regulators sure better be paying attention. And it's certainly not a surprise. We've seen the KBW Bank Index down, I think, something like 16% this week.
And Rick, it's interesting. I don't believe we've heard from President Biden on this yet, right? He hasn't commented specifically on this failure.
Right. So Biden has had a couple things to say today. Of course, he said, wow, what a great jobs report. And it was a great jobs report. Interestingly, the White House this week has also been bragging about the American Rescue Plan, which is the stimulus bill that Biden signed 2 years ago and put nearly $2 trillion into the economy. There's some cognitive dissonance there, because the American Rescue Plan was one of the things that contributed to the rise in inflation, and inflation in turn forced the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates at almost the fastest pace ever, which produced the squeeze that seems to have led to the failure of Silicon Valley Bank. So no indication of that at all from Biden. He's just kind of saying through these fact sheets and press releases from the White House, the American Rescue Plan has done all these great things for America, completely eliding the fact that the American Rescue Plan also was a major contributor to the inflation that we now can't shake. So this is yet another reason that inflation is so pernicious. It just causes a lot of problems, including this one with the bank failure this week that I think nobody saw coming.